In this game, we need to insert some elements to play. That is the food, snake and game. So three elements, that is the food element, snake element and game element. Let's insert these elements into our game. So for the insertion, we need the variables. So let's create a variables called food, snake and game. Note that we denoted these variables as a vector formation. Coming back to the vector. What is meant by the vector? Vector determines the position of one point in a space that is relative to another point. So you need some mathematical knowledge for this understanding. Okay, you just Google that what is meant by vector, then only you understand how this game works. Okay, and after that we need to declare a functions. In this game totally three functions are present, that is the change function, inside function and move function. So in this video I explained these functions with the game examples, so it is easy for you to understand this whole coding part. So let's start the explanation of the first function, that is the change function. In the change function we are given two parameters, that is x and y. Actually this snake game is a 2D game. It is a two-dimensional game. So the x-axis and y-axis, totally two axes are present in the game environment. Under this function we are given aim.x, that is equal to the x variable, and aim.y, that is equal to the y variable. Here the aim.x, it represents the axis, okay, and aim.y, it represents the y-axis. So these two variables represents the direction of the graph. So I hope you understand this logic. After completing the first function, we need to move on the second function, that is the inside function. In this function, we are going to write the important logic inside this function. In this function, we need to give some boundary values. So what is meant by the boundary values? Consider this game as a square. Okay, every square needs the boundary. When the snake crosses the boundary values, then it is considered as an illegal move. Consider yourself, you are playing this game and the snake hits out of this boundary values, then you are out of this game. So this is the logic. I hope you understand this logic. So let's declare our third function, that is the move function. In the move function, we are going to give the movement to our snake. In the snake game, the snake always moves in the forward direction only. It cannot move backwards. So this is the logic of this game. So let's create a variable called head. Inside this variable, we need to give the forward move value, that is the -1. -1 is considered as the forward movement value. So next we need to give the copy object. Why this object means this object, it will copy the same forward value. So this function will help to move the snake in forward direction throughout the entire game. Okay, so this is the logic behind this function. After completing the three functions, we need to start the conditional statements. So the conditions that we given here are very important for this game. So the functions and the conditions both are very important for this game. Okay, and the first condition is if the head of the snake that hits the boundary line, it is considered as out. And the second condition is also like that. If the head of the snake that crosses its own body, then it is also considered as out. If these two conditions get satisfied, then the user out of this game. Okay, so these are the conditions for this game. If these conditions satisfy, then there is an additional red color square that will be appear on the snake's head. That represents the snake hits the boundary line or the snake crosses its own body. Okay, so this is the logic of this conditional statement. And finally, snake dot append. It represents, it will add the red color square button when the above conditions get satisfied. So this is the conditions that we used here. Let's start with the second condition, that is if the head of the snake meets the foot, then it will print the points that you scored in the game. This is the first condition, and the second condition is the food.x and food.y. It represents when the snake catches the food, and these two variables are used to show up the next place that the food will appear. So this is the logic. It is very complicated, but once you understand, it will very easy for you. In this step, we are going to create the snake element by using the for loop. First, you need to understand the snake in the game or the combinations of the squares, and the same method for the food element also. But the food is a single square, the snake is a combinations of squares. So this is the logic in this game. Finally, call the update object. It is used to update all the steps that you inserted in the loops. And this is the end of all the logic that is present in the game. And I already gave a detailed explanation about the tracer object and the listen object in the previous video. The tracer is nothing but it brings back the elements into its initial state. So the listen object is it continuously updates the game in every seconds. So this is the functions of these two objects. And the final step is we need to give the controls to our game. So here I use the on-key objects. In the on-key objects, you need to set the controls and you need to give the values. So these values are the graph values. Okay. So when you need to give the x-axis value and y-axis value in the on-key function. That's all. Totally 4 controls and 8 values are there. So using these keys, we are going to play this epic game. And at last call the move object and the done object. Okay, so let's see how our output looks like. So let's run the program. So this is our game. Okay, all the conditions that we given in the program are works perfectly, because I think it will not work perfectly in the first attempt. So that's all. If you like this video, give a like, and if you want more videos like this, then subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get the instant updates from our channel. Comment down your suggestions, and thanks for watching, and thank you.